Hello. As usual, have to set up the computer. And that screen looks a little dusty. Let's get that fixed. Way better. Hello, Rachel Powell. Thomas R., Christopher Lizotte, Michelle Schulte, Tutwork Studio. Okay. Hello, Tommy Toomey, Houdini the Great. It's good to see you. Pouncing Dragon, DM Cash, Lindy Vito, Susan Atai, Jesse Papa Bear, hey hey, and the Anonymous Bat. I hope you're not the Anonymous Bat. Hope you're getting better. Happening Mojo, Mary Jordan, Lisa and Masato. Hi, everybody. Okay, if you tuned in for yesterday's episode, then you would have seen that I got roughly 1/3 of the way through a paint job for a creature mask before I asked, is this a color version or is this in black and white? It's supposed to be black and white, and then I was making it green, so I gotta fix that. We don't have white right now, but part one was yesterday, and it was a giant mistake. Part two is today. Part two is the finish. Creature feature Electric Boogaloo Part 2. I also have, I made a mold today. This is the Piranha Mask that I molded. I just topped it off with foam so it's nice and flat. I'm going to make a space for the wife, because when the wife comes over, she's going to bring me a few slices of pizza. Chicago pizza, because we got some in for my birthday. And it's delicious. I'm making my mold earlier. Club soda and a side order of Sylvie's. Well, I do green ones all the time, and I do black and white ones every now and then too, but what do you do? Hello, Stanley. I'm painting a creature tonight. A black and white creature. You were on yesterday. I started painting this guy green. And then I'm like, isn't he supposed to be black and white? I got entirely too far along in the process, too. Okay. Texas really isn't good at making pizza. No, I've already made it black again. I've already made it black. We're gonna do black and white. That's what we're doing. Good evening, everybody. Kenny P, Molly Redfern, Stanley S, Chad Smith, Big Dog, John C. I painted over the green. The green was a very thin layer of ink, so it was very easy for me to just go ahead and base them out in black. I'm not a big fan of basing out a mask twice, like I wouldn't want to base it in another color. But since I only had ink on it, it was very easy for me to just we're going to go with we're going to start with a dark, fairly dark. Let me turn down my notifications. There we go. It was supposed to be black and white. That was the only issue with the green was it wasn't supposed to be green. It was because Preacher's a black and white movie. I offer him in a black and white finish, and that is what was ordered. But I did not listen to that at all. I just did what I wanted to do. Day at the beach. Jesse Papa Bear, was the beach crowded? We don't have a lot of beach in Texas, so trying to get you guys close, but not make it weird. Hello, creepers. Always helpful when Alexa reminds you to get lime green. So what I'm doing is called dry brushing. I have a little bit of paint down here, and I get it onto the brush, but then I don't want a brush full of paint. I don't want this wet and dripping. If I only have it on the end of the bristles, then when I run it across, it's only going to get picked up on the raised areas. And that allows me to have deep blacks and just allows me to get depth with a rather quick paint job technique. He is not still greenish on top of his head. Maybe a little. You might get a little bit of light reflection from it. But by the time I finish dry brushing, all that green will be gone. It'll be a nice green memory. That gets a little heavier dry brush anyway because it's a big flat spot without much detail. Not my fault, that's the way they designed them. I like painting creatures. I will probably cut these eyes out and put in some glass eyes. I might have to make them. We'll see. So once the wife gets here, I'll swap my computer and look real quick. I hear you, Jesse. Thank you, Houdini. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I'll probably be painting up some eyes for him later tonight. That'll be fun. I don't think I do that very much. If I can buy eyes to put in them, that's what I normally do. Simply because
time is money, the longer I spend on it, the more I have to charge. Yeah, I actually think that you're getting just enough of the Thomas R. I have glass cabochons, and I will take those glass cabochons and I will paint the back of it. Pretty simple. I mean, there's a lot of ways to make eyes. That's one of the ways that I do it. You can also paint the inside of an acrylic sphere. Again, this is a black and white piece, so my color options will not be as much. Dry brushing is definitely a skill that is good to master. It is really nice to be able to dry brush and get across the things that you need to get across with a good dry brush. It's meant to highlight all the detail, but not saturate. And people mess up in two ways. Either they're too heavy-handed, like you said, or they're too light. The goal of this is to have when I'm done with this layer of dry brush, it'll be a dark gray mask with black deep areas. If it is a black mask with dark gray highlights, then I have not dry brushed enough. And if there's no black on it whatsoever, then I have dry brushed too much. And actually, I kind of like that there's just the tiniest hint of green peeking through. It'll be nice to imply green on this without it being green per se. Black and white. Sometimes there's black and white pictures that, you can just kind of see the color on them, even though there isn't any color on them. It'd be really cool if it turned out that way because of the newts. And of course this goes on lighter, and then as it dries it darkens, because that is a staple of latex house paint. We will also be doing some airbrushing on this. So yeah, you'll get eyes tonight, you'll get airbrush, and of course dry brush. The creature from the Black Lagoon has no teeth, so he will not get teeth. If he were color, I have other eyes for him, but him not being color, I think I'm going to have to make some. I think it's a fun sculpt, so I like it. Yeah, the trick to that, Thomas R, is going a little drier on your brush and really brushing it out so that you're brushing over in multiple directions. Don't just go one direction. Go one direction and switch the other direction. Eyes are in the other one over here. I have two eyeball drawers. Yeah, here's where they are. It's a glass cabochon. See, it has that dome shape to it. And I'll paint my eye on the back side of this. Yep. There's two. I'll set these aside for now. We're going to make eyes later. Good evening, Dan Miles. Well, he may have that, John, but they're not going to show up in this sculpture. Pharyngeal is a very tough word to say. Pharyngeal. Coming from Otto, North Carolina. You guys are all tangled up in your cord. There we go. Okay. And I feel pretty good about that layer, so I'm going to go ahead and mix up my next color. And that's going to be half this dark gray and half of this much lighter gray. By building dark to light, black at the base, dark gray, medium gray, light gray, I'm going to get a lot of depth in this paint job. At least I should. Do movie theaters still actually show film, or is it digital now? Any modern projectionist out there in the audience that could help us? I have a plethora of crap at my feet. My oven is over here. It shouldn't be. Let's get that out of the way. Mostly digital. Well, that would explain why they don't put a film over it now then. Jeffrey, this is all going to be black and white. And Tanya, weren't you the one looking for a mask making buddy to help you learn how to make masks in North Carolina? Was that you? Am I wrong? It's possible you could find one right here. Yeah, the underwater costume picked up a tint from the water when they were filming, so it had to be much lighter, or else it just showed up as black. So, Tanya, maybe Jeffrey right there could help. Also, but I will also hit up all of my people on Latex Mask Central. Now, Happening Mojo, aren't you in Thailand, or are you in Houston? You know a lot about Houston. Hello, CS Creations. Hello, doggo. Sounds very interesting happening, Mojo. I was intrigued. Hello, wife. At one point, I thought I would like a job that had me travel and move to different places for a while, because I don't mind it. At least I didn't mind it. But now, when I live here, I wouldn't want to leave my shop for any length of time. I would not find it awesome. Ooh, thanks, wife. Oh, look at the pizza. Thank you, wife. That's very cool, Thomas R. Honey, I think I'm caught up, by the way.
Okay.
You normally ask.
Eating this pizza in front of them.
Hmm? Mm-hmm. My wife just showed up, actually. Say hi, wife.
Greetings. I did. I said my own fun. Alright.
So my wife is here, and I'm here.
I'm here.
I can taste, I just got some paint on my pizza. It's not even stopping me.
Travel broadens the mind, as they say, but I agree with wanting to separate. Let's have my own dedicated shop. I'm not going to want to move around too much, says that. Hey, big dog. Hello, Stacy. Jeffrey, pretty sure I found you on Facebook and added you, says Tom. Hello, Thomas R.
Cool. Stacy, I'm just going to go on note here of saying, I think you might accidentally suck at camping. Stacy's like, I'm going to be out of contact for a few days because I'll be camping. And,
Probably not.
yeah. Yeah. She's glamping.
Sandy says they're back.
Oh, you're back. Okay. Never know how long camping is going to last. Especially as a kid. Be like, we've been out here for a while. I know, I was kidding. We were evicted. Oh, okay. Good times.
Is that true?
No, it's not true. That was a joke.
I never know.
But with my childhood, no one would be surprised. My childhood was interesting. All right. I'm pretty happy with the general tone of him. We now have 3 colors of gray on there. Well, we have black, and then we have 2 shades of gray, which are helping him a little bit. He is popping, as they say. I like that a lot.
Stacy says, also I have a quality story for you tomorrow.
Oh, hooray. Is this like a story for a while on video?
Right, yeah, no shop tomorrow.
Oh yeah, and it won't be tomorrow because tomorrow is my birthday. So Tuesday we are doing all shop things.
John says, Stacy, is there a Bigfoot or not? A gory photo, you'll see. You'll see it in the headline. Ross Reichert says, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Go catch fishes.
I am. I've been thinking all day about where I'm going to go fish. Is my goal to catch fish? Is my goal to see cool stuff? Because those are two different places.
Jacob Earl wants to know if this monster blubs or blubs.
If he does what?
Blub or blood?
I think he's going to do a blub blub glug glug. I think the blubs would come first for sure.
Ezekiel says hello. Sorry he's late.
Hello, Ezekiel. Ezekiel, it is no problem that you are late. It's never a problem that you're late. This class is an elective. You can choose.
Happy early birthday, they say.
Thank you. You can choose to be here at your discretion.
Happy Mojo says, you get your cabochons
Cabochons, yes.
from Amazon. What size diameter do you find is a good match for mass busts?
I do not get them from Amazon. I get them from a place called Fire Mountain Gems. Yeah, Fire Mountain Gems. So these are 30 millimeter, and I think those are a really good size for human eyes. The size that I showed you. This is a 30 millimeter glass cabochon.
Virginia the Great says that they love to go fishing.
When I go fishing, I try to catch alligator gar. So I want to go fishing for dinosaurs.
Bob O'Brien says that he loves fire. Thomas R. says congratulations on another lap around the sun.
Why, thank you. Oh, and my wife checked my math, and I was wrong. I'm actually going to be 44 tomorrow. I thought I was going to be 45, but I was wrong. So I got younger, which is awesome.
Evan Mojo says Fire Mountain Gems, 30 millimeter. Do your thing, Scott. Hello, Cobwebs.
And the reason why I go with Fire Mountain is because they're always equal. Like they're not bulbous in some spots, and you know they're a nice even roundness, which is good. Okay, so this layer you might notice I'm not putting on like solid. I'm kind of just bouncing around with it, and this is almost a texture breakup. It's kind of hard to do this on the black and white stuff, so you can get these big fields of gray if you're not careful. So I do try to break up that quite a bit. Okay. You guys just gonna have to forgive me for a minute, 'cause this pizza's sitting here.
Ezekiel.
Look at that bug eye. Isn't that bug eye great?
Virginia the Great says I normally go bass fishing. Mike Murphy says, hello everyone, may I come with Murphy? What kind of fishing will you do?
Alligator gar.
Happy birthday from Lockhart.
Hello.
Evan Mojo says Chicago deep dish pizza, open face calzone.
Mm-hmm.
Ezekiel wants to know what's on the menu for birthday celebrations.
Chicago deep dish pizza, banana pudding. That is on the menu. And after that, I go right back on keto. And probably a healthy dose of fiber.
Sado said banana pudding.
My wife makes the best banana pudding I've ever had. And, yeah. I cannot eat it in a restaurant. It's not as good as my wife's, so it just makes me angry.
Everybody is now saying banana pudding.
As they should. So I'm mixing up another color here. I put a little bit of extra white on this. And now I'm going to get it off of the brush because I want very little on the brush. One of the challenges I have with dry brushing is to, I run out of surfaces to get the dry brush dry on. Now I'm seeing the scratchiness that I want. Now I'm comfortable bringing it to the mask.
So did you get to go fishing today?
I didn't go today. No, I had work to do. I made a mold. I had some computer stuff to do. I'm working on a new T-shirt that I'm very excited about. I had to make the graphic for Goat Week because Goat Week is coming up. I mentioned that yesterday. We have so many goat projects. We have the three-eyed goat. We have a Yule goat. We have a like ward goat man monster creature thing, which I'm very excited about. I don't know if I'm going to do like one night of all horn making or if I'm going to try and tackle, each one in a night. I haven't figured that out yet, but I've got 4 nights to do goat stuff.
Jesse Papa Bear says, I lost a fingernail and a nice bracelet from a gar one time. I hate them.
Oh, I love gar. Well, it's like catching a dinosaur, They are really just wonderful, big, nasty fish. And they're beautiful in a slow-witted, monstery kind of way. Same way I'm beautiful.
Alan can try tomorrow.
Where I go fishing, all right, I have seen the biggest alligator catfish I've ever seen. And remember, I worked at Gatorland, so I've seen some really big, not alligator snapping turtle. I think I said alligator catfish. Alligator snapping turtle that I've ever seen. This sucker, I could put on his shell if he was not inside of it. And he was dead, so I know that that is true. Massive, massive snapping turtle. So I would be very reticent to stick my hand in holes here in Texas. Reticent means I don't want to.
Have you heard the song Banana Pudding by Southern Culture on the Skids?
I don't think that I have.
Southern Culture on the Skids is a great band. Says your wife.
That they are?
Yeah. Yeah. What music I like?
What other song do they do?
House of Bamboo.
They do House of, like a brick of bamboo?
No.
No.
House of Bamboo.
Okay. Is it country music?
No.
The stuff that my wife listens to amazes me.
I listen to everything.
You do listen to
I
everything.
listen to everything. One of the girls at work used to get Godfather's pizza with 3 inches of ziti on top. Whoa. So no noodling for you?
I don't think so. I don't think noodling for me. No.
Kudos on that sculpt. The back is as interesting as the front. Nice depth.
Well, the trick on the back, okay, I needed to preserve the look in this nice thin neck of the sculpture. So to do that, I put in these big 3 fins, and when you put it on like a mask, they actually accordion out and allow a bigger head to fit in it. So that's why I have these 3 fins on the back. I just have a little bit of a darker color here for these warty things that he's got. I think they'll look nice darker.
What color for the eyes?
Well, he's black and white, so his eyes are going to be black and white. Now that my wife is here, I'm going to go to my computer and look up a picture of his eyes, just so I know exactly what they look like. I think there's some very simple circles, so that's what I'll probably do. But I will make an effort to make them interesting.
What's the biggest alligator gar ever caught?
Ever caught? About 6 foot. He was 6 foot long, 140 pounds probably. He was a big boy. It was one of those where I caught him in a kayak. I had to paddle the kayak kayak up on the shore to be able to land him, and then because he was just pulling me around the lake, and then I got up on shore, and the kayak is halfway out of the water, and he dragged me back into the water 2 times. He was a big boy. Lots of fun to catch. And then I gave him a stern talking to and sent him on his way.
We always have planned about if we get something too big to drop the pin like
Yes. Yeah, the wife is always on standby when I'm fishing. In case I get a monster.
because we will get that fish. I will jump in there and get that fish. Someone brought alligator snapping turtles to Australia, says John C.
Well, it's only fair because everything else there will kill you.
We're going to use environments. Jacob Earl says, taller than me.
Yeah, he was a big, big boy. All right, I feel good about this sculpture so far. I am going to put some pearl on it, but let's go ahead and get the eyes started. And they start with the research phase. If someone ever asks me on here what my favorite sculpting tool is, I might give the wrong answer first. But the correct answer is Google image search. Google image search is the sculpting tool responsible for making my sculpting actually better. Very few sculpting tools will make your sculptures better.
So do you catch and release or beat them?
We catch and release. I do not normally meet them.
Big Doc says yellow or red eyes would be cool if he was for me.
But he's black and white.
No, Michael Astor, I do not call 911. He drops the pin, and then I drive like mad to where he is and help him get fish. The whole point of being on standby is to bring in the fish. Because he knows,
Yeah.
Alan knows that I will get in that water and get that fish.
Okay, so we have some leeway with our creature from the Black Lagoon eyes. This piece is kind of nice. It has cat eyes. I don't mind that. I kind of like that. It might make him feel a little more predatory. That's good. This is much truer to the suit in the show, in the movie, I should say. Here is an actual photo. And these eyes they're just not that interesting. A little better right here. Similar version of that. This is just a yellow and black eye. The consensus is a round eye. Stanley is on, or at least he was on. How do you feel about a cat eye on this? I think it'll look really nice.
Tony Martinez says, I was thinking they were yellow and black.
Well, since he is black and white,
Stanley is not on.
he was earlier.
Well, there he is. So the cat eyes are all right.
Yeah, I think that'll look good. Let's be creative.
Michael said that he thought I would be standing there watching.
No. My wife will also fish. She is not as down for adventure as her husband is, but she is down for adventure.
Depends on what the adventure is.
My wife likes a reasonable amount of adventure.
The creature also made an appearance on the Munsters as Uncle Gilbert.
That's correct.
Kevin Mogo says gray cat eyes.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. They're going to be black and white, so they're going to be a grayish color.
Ezekiel wants to know if that's your birthday.
That's a mold I made today. That's the Piranha Mask.
Cobwebs, I wouldn't punch the gar in the face, but I would bring him in.
I will punch a gar because they won't even notice.
I have no reason to punch him, but I
Like
will
a
bring
big gar would not even notice if you
Tell him
punched
for
him.
that gar that surfaced next to me.
Oh, he was beautiful.
He was massive. No, I'm not going to punch him. Alan just has this need to punch things. I'm not going to punch him. But I'll bring him up and take a picture of him and put him back in the water. Alan, I didn't even know what those eyes were called. Cabochon. I made those pelican eyes with them. Sanded them backs flat, so on a belt sander, and then polished them before painting.
These already are flat. That's why I buy them from Fire Mountain Gems.
Joanna Crowley says Shannon, just in case, hide the green paint.
Thanks for your vote of confidence, friends.
Michael Astor says you want to fight just about everything.
I do. But I'm very nice in person.
I don't feel the need to fight it. You can do that. But I do want to catch it. Hello, Rodney Pope. Kevin Mojo says, I love obscure words for things that we use and see every day.
Me too.
Is that fingernail polish?
That is fingernail polish. I like its luster.
Ezekiel says, me too. It makes me feel smart when I see it.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get that camera down close so we can see it. Yeah, 'cause that's when it's close up. Very intricate detail on that. Ezekiel says, although if I said cabochon around Australians, they would think it was some kind of cheap wine.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Wife, you're gonna have to really help me because I can't see my screen.
Okay. Right now, the main thing in the picture is the wooden roof.
So right here should be my working spot.
See right here?
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Always shake up your fingernail polish. Now I keep a lot of fingernail polish here just for eyes. I pretty much go to the dollar store and I clean them out of kind of every color they have, because on some of these eyes that I do, if I'm doing a big eye like a dragon eye, I might use 20 colors. And the more, now this eye will not be that intricate because it's a black and white eye, you know. I'm going to be limited in what I can use.
Robert White says, hello, I'm late.
Hello, Robert White. You are late to class. Grab a seat and take out your notepad, please.
Did Stinkor get poured up?
Stinkor got cleaned out, but he's not poured up yet.
Perfect camera. In case I missed it, where did you get those glass pieces you use for the eyes?
A company called Fire Mountain Gems.
You're painting on the flat, correct?
Yes, I flipped it over. And I'm painting on the flat.
Robert says, okay, all ready to take notes. Hello, Shaker. Hello, Robert.
And we are, yeah, see it's face down, so it's down. I'm doing kind of one piece of each one. I'll probably grab a heat gun here in a minute.
Hi, Jerry Collins. He says, I'm late too.
What the heck, Jerry? We talked about this. Okay. So I'm just going to add some visual interest to this by spreading out these pupils.
Hello, hard beauty.
And I'm going to kind of radiate from the center. I have a little tool. I have a little tool. And I'm just going to use it. So, and I'm just going to use it to radiate out from the center of this eye in order to...
What are you making eyes for?
Creature in the Black Lagoon. I have to go get my glasses. Everything is blurry. Are you laughing at me?
No. Ronnie Pope says, hope we don't get detention. Big Dog says, thanks for the suggestion of Shape of Water. We liked it. I liked it too. But I kind of like just about anything Del Toro does. I'm kind of, I'm not the most objective person. I just love all of his work. Is that a ball stylus?
It is. Very tiny ball stylus, yes.
Since you love to save time, couldn't you glue a sticker on the inside using Photoshop?
I could. Yep.
Tarantula, welcome. About to skip school. I only came by while I have dinner and I have to leave. I have to leave a like. So Tarantula has to go.
Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Tanya Martinez, I'm never letting you live down the little tool. And Harvey, he has a small tool. There we go.
I have a little tool. I have a little tool. That's what I said.
Better now?
Oh, yeah, I can see everything. Stupid glasses. 44.
Did you just buy some clear glass cabochons, or do they call it something fancy?
It is a clear glass 30 millimeter flat backed cabochon from Fire Mountain Gems.
Nina says little tools work the best. Edson Juice says hello to everybody. How's it going?
Hello, sir. Okay, and that's kind of what I have right now. Now, all this, that is the pupil, but it's gone. I got to fill that back in. Haven't got to, but I'm gonna. I'm gonna get myself a heat gun. I'm gonna open up a new heat gun that I got and use it because it is smaller and should give more precise heat.
Cindy says, howdy creepers, sorry I'm late. Rachel Powell, this is how I make eyes for my polymer clay projects. Use scrap clay to keep the cabochons steady.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I put a cloth down. I mean, I'm not going crazy on it. This is a great eye technique if you feel like making the eyes. And I just, sometimes I do stuff because I want to do it this way.
Leanne says happy birthday.
Thank you.
How does bloodshot eyes look like?
You just do everything in gray tones. I'm actually not going to get into this right now. It's more complicated than I thought. We'll go here.
Do you have any birthday plans?
I'm going to go fishing. I'm going to go wade fishing. So I'm going to suit up and I'm going to grab a fishing bag over my shoulder, my stainless steel machete and my grappling hook, and I'm going to go fishing.
I said, you can check with your Yes, happened in Mojo. I've seen Mimic, the devil's backbone, and Bones. If anybody ever gets a chance to see the Del Toro exhibit, do
Yes.
what you gotta do and get there.
At Home with Monsters.
Fill your eyeglass clean. This got readers. Probably not going to be this 136. Everything clears July of
Hooray.
Well, the blind since this is cool, I would have thought black would have been the last to
Well, you have to build the pupil from the way that you're going to see it. So if I paint this white first and I paint the black last, see how hot did I make this? Yeah, it's pretty dang hot. When I flip it over, you would only see the white. So I have to do this in layers. In layers. Dun, 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 dun.
People are talking about fishing and birthdays.
Hooray.
So happy birthday, Alan. Robert White says, I took my grandson fishing on his 5th birthday for the first time.
That's cool. If you remember, in the middle of those, we kind of scratched that out so it wasn't thick. We got to fill that back in
What's the purpose of the heat gun?
to dry the
Is it to build layers?
to dry it. Yeah, because I want it dry so I can build layers on top of layers on top of layers. Now here's the trick with glass. Looking at glass, you have no idea how hot it is. And I just hit that with a heat gun a lot. So do not touch this glass with your bare hands. Hot glass looks exactly the same as cold glass.
Have you ever painted the eyes and used a scratch-off technique on the dried paint to get a different effect? Do you think that would work?
Yeah. You might see me do it here.
Tuning in to literally watch paint dry.
Yep.
Justin Rudy, hey Alan, I have enough plaster to mold my backside, but not enough to do both. I'm ordering some tonight. Can I mold one and do the other later? Do the front later.
You can. But what you have to watch out for is don't leave your mold wall on a long time because your mold wall is a mess. It'll shrink on you and then it won't be effective. So if you're going to do one half of it, go ahead and do your mold wall and then do that half of it.
It is Jetwood metallic luster quit for my car. Allowing the light to shine through.
If I were using colors, I might do that.
But the smell of fingernail polish is strong.
It's not that bad. The dollar store fingernail polish isn't as stinky as good fingernail polish.
Oh, it's not great.
Okay. I feel good about that amount of black. Did Fat Hand block all vision there for a bit? No?
No, it's doing well.
Okay.
It's actually doing well. What we can see it. Justin Rudy says, just to be clear, I build the wall, mold back half, and then take the mold wall off. Then the front is good to go and do that.
Correct. That is exactly right. Nailed it. That is burn you hot, boy oh boy. But look at our results so far, you know, and that is just that is incredibly warm. But that's just black, you know. It's also hard to tell when this is dry because it's wet look nail polish. That's one of the things you like about the nail polish is that it's wet look. And I'm going to do this glittery stuff in here. It's black and white. It'll still work, but it will add a little bit of more sparkle and depth to these eyes.
Edson says that he and his wife said happy birthday.
That
He
is
says
very nice.
he's been puffing fiberglass fumes all day. Nail
Awesome.
polish doesn't bother him. Good night, big dog. Ghost Train says happy birthday.
Thank you, Ghost Train. And one thing you have to watch out for is sometimes the fingernail polish will reactivate the dried fingernail polish underneath. Like I just put a lot of this stuff on, so you just have to be careful. And if you notice it's moving your stuff around, back off a little. I want to get that little lake dry. That's a lot. I might go back to the painting just to let this dry between layers. And I want to blow it around. That's not my plan. If I see it starting to boil, then I want to back off.
Whether it's man's worst nightmare. Shannon tells us Doggy Poke. I love the concrete in the mask video podcast. Oh, sorry. They're having a lot of conversation.
Yeah, I saw that. That was those were some interesting techniques. What I'm interested the most about is the longevity. So I would like a follow-up video in 2 years to see which one held together the best. I have my theories, and I would put money down on it. Yeah, that's just way too hot to pick up. Oh, burn through your flesh. But I do have some of that glitter in there, and I can see it from the back side. And that's something that's important. What the back looks like.
Jacob Earl says, as he picks it up. Robert Weiss says it's looking great.
Why, thank you. It is also still very wet. And too thick, it'll take a really, really long time to dry. I'm probably going to attempt to back this. Because I want it to be opaque.
Bonnie says that's really cool. I'm going to try this Wednesday when I'm off work. Have you ever used used a UV nail dryer to do the polish?
No, I didn't even know that they existed. What's a UV nail dryer?
It's just put your hands under it and it just dries your nails really fast.
Alexa, add a UV nail dryer to my shopping list.
UV nail dryer added to your shopping list.
Thanks, Cindy. You said to mold down the ears. My ears are on the thinner side as it goes to the ends. What's the pros and cons of molding down the ears or molding behind the ears, and give both ways work?
How hard, when everything that is air right now is a rock, how hard would it be to clean it out? That's the question. See, I'm just backing that with the white in order to get the opaqueness of the eye.
Ezekiel says that would be a sight. Alan walking to the dollar store saying, "Where's your nail polish?" That's amazing.
They asked me no questions. They just let me go.
Captain Mojo says they're pretty cheap. You must have timers on them. Cobweb says they're big enough to jam a small sculpt in to cure UV resins.
Cool. I wanted to refine the cat pupil. I thought I lost it a little bit. This is getting it back for me now. I like that. Yeah, see, my pupil got muddy. So I have to refine that pupil. And I'm keeping my thumb and my finger where the pupil are, because I can't see them from the back. But that will help me to find out where it is. And this one has obviously dried more than the other one.
The conversation saying that you have to make sure it's UV polish you're using in the UV dryer.
Oh.
Don't use gel.
Alexa, add UV nail polish to my shopping list.
No, I didn't find the nail polish on your shopping list.
Alexa, add UV nail polish to my shopping list.
I added UV nail polish to your shopping list.
And the more times you scrape away and add and scrape away and add, the better it looks. It looks like a hot, garbagey mess from this side, but it looks good from the other side. See, I have my pupil back, and that's what I wanted. You can see how much of that is opaque and how much has it. And now I'm kind of going just point for point, where I'm looking and I'm shaping that pupil with the tool as I go.
Gives a whole new meaning to having a glass eye. Lisa says it's looking awesome. And Ezekiel says suddenly a mad dash on nail polish sales by men in the dollar store. Cobweb says, my molds are opaque, white. By the clear silicone molds, I would build a pure chamber with my 80-watt UV light. Scott Creighton says this is a Really?
It really is. And there's a couple tutorials for it that you can find on YouTube. And I might do one on it down the road. I will, of course, link the very awesome lady and she sells jewelry mostly. And I watch a lot of, I subscribe to 3 or 4 different jewelry making channels. I don't make jewelry. I don't have any intention to make jewelry. But what are they doing that I could learn and use and apply to my craft? Well, this was a big payoff. It's always something. Okay. Pretty happy with how that looks at this point. And then once I back that with white, I think that's going to look really good. But I'm going to let those dry right over here for now. And I'm going to go back to the mask itself. Let's go back to the mask itself, and we will cut the eyes out.
Tanya Martinez says work comes early, eyes look good, happy birthday, and
Well, thank you so much.
what's the best way to sculpt veins? Rolling thin strings of clay, smoothing out the edges, and this tend is smoothing out the surface, but they still don't look natural.
So we normally do too much when it comes to something like veins. Go ahead and put it on, and then use your loop tool to knock off all the edges and to blend it in. Do you watch my YouTube channel, or do you just catch a live every now and then? Because I could do a quick vein sculpting video if you'd like, just 5 minutes or so on sculpting veins. Because I'm not set up for it right now, but it is worth doing.
Justin's answer was both.
Okay, so I'll do a YouTube video for you.
Have you ever made following eyes?
Yep,
I love the black and white picture.
thank you.
Didn't get to finish watching last night, but I could have sworn he was a little green earlier.
No. Black and white was always the plan for this guy.
How do you do following eyes? Do you do a YouTube Wednesday for following eyes?
I can do Alan Hop's 2 minutes for following eyes.
You got to do one?
About to do one.
Okay.
Ping pong ball. Stabbery device. Never cut towards yourself. Safety first. Keep your hands clear of the cutting surface. Get help from an adult. This is an eye, right? this is a following eye. Let me draw in there. Basically, your eye is a negative.
Everybody seems to be concerned about your shooting sharp objects, so I'm just gonna press it. Realm says hello.
I gave all the appropriate safety rules.
Joseph W. Creations. This is a more simplistic way they did moving bust in dimension.
But what?
A more simplistic way they did the moving bust in the haunted mansion.
This is exactly how they did it. All right. So this is an eye that follows you wherever you go. My hand is still. I have to take the phone out of it for this. Okay. I'm leaving my hand very still. Is that eye looks like it's turning, doesn't it? Looks like it's turning and looking right at you. But it's not. It's concave. It is a visual trick. These are following eyes.
Just a minute. I talked about you possibly painting one of my masks. I would pay whatever you would charge plus shipping there and back. Since named Toothy Weird Guy is one that you like, would you be open?
Sure. Sure. And I charge $25 for painting a mask. If you want to send me a mask, I'll paint it for $25.
Does it make a difference if the eye is colored or not?
Nope, not at all. Here, I can color that one and find where I threw it.
Alan, what's the best material to use if you want to make one piece with a knife and the skin or an axe in the face?
Hold on.
Nick, hey Alan, what is the best material to use if you want to make a one piece with a knife in the skin or an axe in the face?
A one piece what? And what do you want the material for? Or do you want the appliance that goes, is it a prosthetic? Or is it, do you want to know what to make the axe out of? I have too many questions.
How much longer do you want?
I normally go till 10 o'clock. I was a little late, so I might go till 10:15, 10:20 tonight.
$5 from Gregory Haynes. Thanks for the cool lesson.
Oh,
Haynes
cool.
says yes. What the axe is made of?
I would make the axe. I mean, I do. If you have to have it embedded in someone and glued on, prosthetic style, then I would probably make it out of foam, like a nice light foam.
Kevin and Mojo says, they use servos at Disney. If you have $1 million budget, you're going to use it. The tiki hut at Disney was pretty famous back in the day for eye animatronics. How much to paint a glass eye? Sorry, just curious.
They take about 20 minutes.
It means how much to charge to make a glass eye. Ghost Train, did you mean how much does he charge? How much to paint a glass eye? Sorry, just curious.
I mean, why don't you paint a glass eye? You can do it, man. You got this. Okay, so take two with a colored eye. eye has color. Works the exact same.
$4.99 from Untitled. Love the eye pictures.
Oh, cool. Great. Let's cut out his other eyeball.
And make my, okay, if I want to make an axe, a forehead foam axe, and silicone appliance, how can I glue them together?
I would not glue them together. I would use a mechanical bond. When you cast up your axe, you cast it with a back plate that can fit in behind the other piece. It fits in behind the silicone. So really, you know, you're gluing down all of it.
$10 copper backing up the coat.
Hooray! I like that you're backing each other up. Okay, while it's here and exposed, I'm going to have an edge. Oh, you guys couldn't see that. I'm sorry. I was just cutting this out. I'm going to have the thickness of the latex is exposed. So I need to get that colored.
I'm not a good painter, although I have never tried. If I tried it, maybe I will give it a try.
Give it a try. Before you give up and pay someone else to do it, give it a shot.
Justin Good, awesome, thanks. I have no paint preference. I want you to paint it your way, and whatever you think would sing it in person. My idea you add or think of the better. It would sit in my man cave.
Well, cool. I'd be happy to do that. That'd be really fun.
He said, all lessons down teach us prices. Always refer back to these things.
And what I'm going to do, I'll probably take this video and I might take the moving eye real quick and do a 2-minute YouTube video on that. And I might take the glass eyes out and do a video on those. Because, you know, they're quick little mini lessons inside of all this. Dry.
Not dry yet?
It's dry. I was happy it was dry. It was dry.
You're silver.
Yes. And this is just acrylic paint that I'm backing this with.
How did you make the eyes? Missed it. Just back up the video.
Yeah, I do it all on video. It's a glass cabochon and I painted it. That is the short, easy answer.
I have to remind you to send me a link for the new cameras you got. You want an email or is it okay here since it's
If my wife acknowledges you, then it's okay here because she'll remind me. But if it's just me, I'll say, yeah, here's fine, and I'll still forget. Not because I want to forget, it just happens. There's a lot of things inside of Alan's brain. These work way better when you plug them in.
Thanks, Alan, for doing these lives. They're really awesome. It's much appreciated.
Burn the skin right off you. That's hot. Is the camera too far, honey, or?
Not for what you're doing. Glad to do it, Rodney. Thank you.
Boy, that's hot. Oh my gosh, burning skin.
Don't touch it.
Hamburger meat. Oh, it smells like bacon cooking. Okay. Woo. Hot glass, hot glass. I have a little time, I'm going to mess with it.
Hey, Alan, they have the great new invention. It's called gloves from Cobwebs.
I don't know how they do it where you're from, but in Texas, we don't wear stuff that's supposed to protect us. We have personal freedoms.
Rodney Pope says, I wonder how many times Alan used a drill bit and then granite to remove the drill.
Hot, eh?
Is there any good way to see, in my case, the eye, the ear better when clay removing? I thought about a little mirror similar to what Dennis used for the teeth.
Yeah, it's make your mold wall along the ear canal and you don't have a problem. If you make your mold wall along the outside of the ear, not the ear canal, then when you open it up, your ear is completely exposed. If you mold on one side of the ear, then you got to dig all the way down there to the end. That is why, if it's a big eared thing, run that mold wall down the ear.
Rodney Pope says that he thought it was invisible, the same toothpick.
Oh, I'm not wearing it tonight. I know it's hard to tell.
Still want to know if that's your birthday.
That is not my birthday cake. That is a mold that I made earlier today. That is the Piranha Mask that I sculpted on Wednesday.
You're not having a birthday cake.
2 Wednesdays ago. No, I'm having birthday banana pudding. I didn't like that my cat's eyes were a little undefined.
It's a little hard to see. Thank you.
So now I've gone and I've just outlined that. Now it's clear back there, but I'll drop in more white. But I'm scratching off more of this other stuff in order to get just a more refined look to the eye. Every time I scratch this off, you know, I'm making more and more layers and just a different look. So it looks like that on this side. That's the back. And then it looks like that on the front. And whatever I put up against the back of it, it's going to take on, you know, that color to a degree. So see that?
says I sent you a message on Instagram about a Tim Tam house.
Oh,
I hope you saw that.
I'm not as hip to. I'm on to Instagram, but I'm not as hip to Instagram. Like, I have to come to my wife and say, "Honey, I have a message on Instagram. Can you help me find it?"
So you say banana pudding, love it, but my grandma never used pudding. She always used milk, wafers, and bananas. Everyone says it's not banana pudding.
Well, it's banana custard. Did she make a custard, or did she just give you bananas and wafers? She was cheating.
This is grandmother.
People can acknowledge their grandparents cheat.
It's a little hard to see. It's- Rodney Pope says, I bought 4 packs of Tim Tams from Target and 2 of the 4 were out of date. Best if used.
That's because they came all the way from Australia.
So check the date on the Tim Tams.
I would probably still eat them. I mean, that's who I am as a person.
Ezekiel Shannon, honey, Alan has a message on Instagram from the Aussie about a Tim Tam house. Please help him see it.
Yeah.
Rodney really is still delicious. Larry says, no, just bananas, milk, and wafers. I didn't care for the pudding.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong in front of everybody, as it is an opinion,
That's not right to do.
but whatever.
I have to cook your pudding.
Yeah, my pudding
It
gets
has
cooked.
to cool down.
Yeah, see, I don't like it hot. I like banana pudding cold. Again, remember desserts, I like to be cold and creamy.
Would you like custard?
Yeah, custard is good. I like frozen custard better than I like frozen ice cream. I think I'll like these eyes a little better now that I have the pupils are more defined. I blew them out a little bit too much, and they weren't as cat eye as they should have been. They look like fuzzy eyeball explosions. As far as explosions go, fuzzy eyeball explosions are my least favorite kind.
Ezekiel says that Tim Tams are on their way. I sent Shannon some too, not Alan. Thanks, Ezekiel, because as you know, Alan doesn't share.
I'm not a big sharer.
You're territorial.
I'm not good at it.
You're territorial.
I share information. I will tell you how good the Tim Tams I ate were.
You have moments, windows where you feel.
And for clarity here, have you been eating your tasty cakes yet?
I'll eat my tasty cakes later.
Have you eaten the tasty cakes that I gave you?
No, not yet.
No, she's wasting them.
No, on the contrary.
She is wasting them.
Ghost Train likes rum cake. Rum cake's not so bad. Justin Moody, topically, when my molds fail, they nuclear test and fill fully. Most of the time through tripoints, maybe about an inch or an inch and a half between the scope, and the tripoints still no testing.
When you make your pry point, you know what? Let me grab a marker. I have one from making eyeballs.
Connie, no, I do not add Cool Whip layers to my banana pudding. Banana pudding is super hot when I make it.
Let's say this is the outside of your mold wall, and this is your sculpture. Like here's your ear starting. Let's just say that, okay? When you add your pry point, lump of clay, and comes down here, and you say you leave 1.5 inches. If this ends in a point, any force that you put here is going to go down into the mold. So what you do is when you make your pry point, cut it off so it ends in a square. And you are way less likely to get a leak out of that. Just cut it off when it's clay and have it end in a square end instead of a point. If it ends in a point, it's probably going to leak later. So end it in a square.
Rodney Pope says that was one of his favorite dishes. His mom.
And you can also seal up your mold if you think it's going to leak. Seal it up with latex acrylic caulking. The super cheap stuff, like the super cheap latex acrylic caulking. Just run that around your mold before you put it together. And then give it 20 minutes to dry. This is gonna suck. That's better. Better. Boy, do not pick these up. They are so hot. Wow, my skin is almost sticking to them. See, pain. Okay, put that back down. Yep, still hot. Whew. Boy, that is a hot potato. Holding it in my palm is way worse because I haven't killed all those nerves yet. While these they're too hot to put in, can you tell a quick story? What is the first thing you ever saw me built that impressed you?
Oh gosh. Well, first thing I ever saw Alan in was something that he built, and that was his gargoyle costume, which made him, 8 feet tall in the wings. But I've told you that story before because I thought he looked beautiful. So I thought that was pretty impressive. Things that Alan does that impresses me a lot of times are just the way he, for lack of a better word, thinks outside the box. And our brains work so differently that a lot of times he'll see something that I don't see, and I'll see something in a way that he doesn't see. And so that makes us a good team. I think the first thing I ever saw that you had built was your wings and your stilt costume.
Yeah.
So I loved your quad wings. That was fast. You're not messing around. Yeah,
Oh, I'm a motivated tinkler.
That's good. Rodney, what picture are you referring to?
Go see. A cat walked by the dog door. The dog's freaked out. freaking out. Go see.
Yes, Rodney, I do have it. I don't have it right here with me, but I do have it. I'll try and get it to you. Hang on a second. I'm gonna check that out. Guys.
Okay, so I like the way the eyes look. I like the way they fit. I'm actually going to cut away a little bit more.
No bears or wolves. You're safe.
Hello, Bella. Why are you wanting to claw me to death? Oh, dogs.
Rob O'Brien says this is me putting in my contacts. KBFX Special Effects. So I just read that the paints I have are a satin finish. That could be the cause of the issue of mysterious walking.
Yeah, I prefer matte finish. So, yeah, it's possible.
Connie says that is so cool. Lisa says, you said you were going to curl the skin?
Yes.
Realms would like you to know he's very excited to get this mask.
Great.
Ship out Tuesday. Rodney, there's no telling. All it takes is for one to think they see something and all three of them take off running. One can be having a dream and bark. The other hears the bark and starts barking, and that's all it takes. But I don't see any bears or wolves out there, so we must be safe.
But you went out and looked like a white person.
I did.
Like a white girl in a horror movie. You went outside to check it out.
I did.
This whole thing
I
out.
had to see.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like,
I know.
well, if she goes, at least it's on YouTube.
Okay.
I was inside. I'll have an alibi.
So true.
There we go. When you're doing this, when you're painting that latex edge, be careful not to get any paint on the eye itself, or that'll be hard to get off. Like I'm very carefully painting that latex that's showing, but I'm not getting any on the eyeball.
Realms would like to know he's very excited about it.
About what?
Blank.
Oh, that's good, Realms. I was worried about you, Realms. You're pretty quiet tonight.
Rodney says the mask is awesome, and Larry says the pups are partners in crime. Rodney says whatever it is, better be big because there's three of them. That's Justin Ruby. When I'm ready to send my mask, what is the best way to contact you? I would like to contact you the same way everyone else does to make it easier transaction.
God bless you, sir. That's going to be email stiltbestudios@gmail.com. Stiltbestudios@gmail.com. What?
Ezekiel. Ezekiel says, I put money on Shannon faring much better than your average white horror movie.
Yeah. That's true. She tough, yo. A little bit of pearl ink. I'm even going to dilute this pearl ink.
Stacy says, Shannon is in so many ways a final girl. I don't know what that is.
Final Girl is a horror movie trope where there's one girl left alive at the
Oh! Smart. Thanks, Stacy. But Alan had to tell me what a final girl was. What does that mean? Is it good?
end. Whoa, that's alcohol, that's for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes, Raji, I am a Texan. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. Y'all have to tell me what it was.
Now, if this ruins everything that I've done, then, well, I'll be doing this again later.
Because of the birthday shot. Very fun. Realms would like to know, how did you make the glass eye?
Back up your video. Like I did it on the air, so you can watch this video later. And I'm going to do a breakout YouTube video of it. You know what? This guy is just... Okay. This is pearlescent, and I thinned it with alcohol, so it's not as heavy pearl as it normally is. It should just give him a little bit of a sheen, and I see it working, and I'm liking it. And now, I know I said that I didn't get anything on the eyes. Well, I actually covered the eyes on purpose with this paint so that it protects them from the pearl. That way I can scrape the paint off. It's almost like I did a,
Painter's tape.
yeah, I used the like painter's tape.
What did you do with the green one?
This is the green one. I made him this one. I'm putting a little bit of black in this airbrush. I'm going to do some shading. Some fool had green in this airbrush. That won't do. green is a pretty pervasive color. It's kind of hard to get out of an airbrush. And because of where green lands on the color wheel, it's actually pretty bad about contaminating everything.
How many of your t-shirts and clothes have you ruined from latex and plastic?
Ruined? None. Modified? Many. It's all in your perception, my friend.
Realms, are you saying that your airbrush is not putting out paint?
Realms what?
My airbrush is not putting paint out. How can I fix it?
Clean it. It's dirty. It's clogged.
It says, Sharon, you have to be careful when you hear new words in these classes. Don't just Google it. Could be tested. Lockhart says, every shirt I wear comes shop.
That's right. And this is just adding a smoothness to this that the dry brushing doesn't have.
Well, I'd like to know what you can paint it with.
What kind of paint did you use? What kind of paint you use decides what you can clean it with.
Lockhart says, less than 2 weeks till PhD.
Yes.
Good night, Scott Creighton. Rosie says, my problem is I never put the ruined or modified shirts on. I just keep making them.
That's fine too.
Realms, what kind is that? He says, it's the kind it came with. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, we don't know what it came with, man. You got to help us out.
Just know the name. night, Rodney Post.
Good night, Rodney.
Just got a Harbor Freight by my house. I think I may be buying me a new basing airbrush. Any other good mask making goodies there I should pick up?
Yeah. They carry your gloves. They carry gloves. They carry these yellow putty spreaders or adhesive spreaders that I use all the time in mold making.
Joanna says she wishes the pearl showed up better on screen.
The pearl is light, but it's there. Well, as I move it closer, I'm blocking the light too. Let me clean off this other eye.
Ghost Train. So jealous to share a birthday with Ellen DeGeneres, but yet my niece outdoes me because she shares a birthday with Robert England. Ezekiel says, I'd share a birthday with David Coverdale with White from White Snake.
Hooray!
Realm says I made EVA pig ears before we left so I can finish a frock so I can come home to start fresh.
Hooray!
Larry Hughes says Harbor Freight is coming to the town I live in as well and I can't wait. Thumbs up if you've been watching for more than 10 minutes. Lurkers, give the channel your support. John C. says Masters airbrush kits usually come in a U.S. art supply at the filling cake. I think that is right around. It looks great. Go a little closer.
Closer than this?
No, you're gonna have a.
See the sheen on there now?
Yes, Susie says gorgeous.
Because the way this mask sits, this is all just Loctite foam. All this, you know, I just filled it up and I shaped it the way I wanted to. With a nice bust look to it. Okay, that's the creature, kids.
Put him on the table.
Yep, now he goes on the table for the white.
Here's his hands.
So, but that is it. And we finished right at 10:07. That's not bad. I appreciate all you guys hanging out with us tonight. Thank you to those who gave in Super Chat. I appreciate it. I too am a fan of the cat eyes in that. I think that looks good. We got to do some fun things actually tonight. We got to make eyes a different way. We showed the following eye. Wife, ready to say goodnight? Wave. Your head's behind the mask though.
Good night.
I say good night, everybody. Thank you all kindly for the birthday wishes. I don't know if you'll see me tomorrow night or not. Let's see how the night goes. I might wipe myself out fishing and just fall over asleep. But if I don't, I probably will go live for a little while doing something. Because it's not a normal night off. But Tuesday is a normal night off. So if I'm not on tonight, I won't be on Tuesday because I'm trying to knock out. Yes.
Everybody say happy birthday.
Yeah.
Relax, enjoy your fishing.
And if you look at the Goat Week image that I put up, it has the nights I'll be live doing goat stuff. And I think I actually said the 14th, so I will be live Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah. Goat stuff tomorrow. Woohoo! All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Have a great night. Go make stuff.